What's up, guys? Let me give you a little progress update on what I've been working on since I did the last update video. Well, you guys know that I already updated my projector screen. I went from the 150 inch to the 170 inch Screen Pro screen. I did say I was going to plan on putting the 75 inch Bravia 9 Mark II on the wall in my kitchen. So that is what I got going on here right now. So right now I'm running this in the Google picture mode. So it looks like the picture frame. It doesn't look like a 75 inch, but that actually is a 75 inch. I thought that 75 would have been a little bit too big for the kitchen, but I'm getting kind of used to it. It feels almost kind of small. Like maybe I should have went with an 85 inch, but the 75 inch looks good though. And the cool thing about this TV is here's my patio door. So it's pretty big. And let me go ahead and just open this all the way fully. So while that's opening up, I think one of the main selling points, at least for me, was that it's got that matte screen on it. So if you have a lot of lights on, so I've got one overhead light there. Then of course I've got one light coming in from outside shining on the TV. And besides that little bit of glow right in the top there, which is coming from my light, this handles reflections and just light mitigation really well. So that's huge. That's a huge win for this TV. And don't mind that I've been updating the kitchen, so I don't have any place for all that stuff yet. And another cool feature about the TV, this is the Sony Sub 9, which will wirelessly connect to the television. And I know I've been mentioning this every time we have these Zoom meetings with Sony. When can we hook up a subwoofer to your TVs? Because their TVs, they've had some pretty good audio quality for the past few years. The only thing missing was some substantial bass, but now we can hook up the subwoofer to it wirelessly. And I'm real happy about that because this is a good sounding TV and it's even better with the subwoofer. And I did make this. I made this out of plywood. It's got a nice little finish on the top. I mean, I stained this myself black and put a little lacquer finish on it so that way I can put the remote control and the remote for the blinds there. I got me a little ficus plant there as well. So that way it doesn't look like a random subwoofer just sitting in the kitchen. So that's up. Be on the lookout for that review. It should be up in like another day or so. And as far as my kitchen progress, it's almost complete. This is what I got going on. We tried to go as minimal as possible with all the wall cabinets, so that way it opens up the space a little bit more. I added in the under cabinet lighting here yesterday. That took me all day. I ran out of 4-wire extension cable for that, so I can run it down to the power outlet. But that'll be here tomorrow, so I'm gonna get some lighting under there. And then I still have to do my tile. So you can see my shoddy, drywall work there. But I figure since I'm going to put a tile all the way across, that shouldn't be a problem. And check this out right here. The other day, the guys came by, and when they were sliding in the countertop, I said to the guys, "Do you need me to move the stove before you slide in the countertop?" And they said, "No, we got it." I said, "You sure?" They said, "No, we got it." I said, okay. So I turned around, I walked out of the back door. As I'm starting to walk out the back door, all I hear is a little crack. And right there, they went and chipped the cooktop. So now I've been with these guys for the past 2 days now. Luckily, they're gonna go ahead and just buy me another stove, and then they're actually coming tomorrow to swap out the new stove for this broken one. And the sad thing is that we haven't even turned this thing on yet. We plugged it in just to set the time, but other than that, we haven't even used it. I mean, we still got the paperwork. We still got the paperwork inside the stove. And this all could have been avoided if they would have just let me move it out of the way. And it would only have taken me like a second to move it out of the way. But luckily, those guys are pretty cool. They're gonna take care of it. Yeah, I added some track lighting up top, so at night, it'll shine down on the sink. And then I put up couple shelves here. I got my little grass plant there. I added some under shelf lighting under there. So this is gonna look really cool at night when you turn the lights off. Looking pretty fancy. Oh yeah, I did add some under cabinet lighting on the floor as well. So It'll look really nice at night. Anyways, I know you guys don't want to listen to my kitchen update, but I will tell you, I am working on a new project today. Oh, by the way, I am going to be putting my backsplash. I'm going to be putting up some penny tile on the backsplash, which I think is going to look pretty cool. But yeah, come on, let's go into the theater. Let me show you what I'm working on. All right, so it's looking like a bit of a mess right now. So I've got all my tools out. I got my work light out. It's actually my studio light. But this is what I got going on here. This might look familiar to some of you guys, especially if you're a Valencia owner. This is an accessory port that would attach to your chair so you can slide in your tray tables and all that stuff. So on my chairs, these do not have the accessory port. So what I have been using is this thing here. This is actually for a car, which I picked up on Amazon. It was something like, I think it was like $60. It might have been $80 actually. And this has this thing where you tighten it, and you can, as you put it in, you turn this little knob here, and that tightens it, makes it tight. Well, it's supposed to make it tight. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to have to drill a hole here and then drop this in there so I can put a tray table in it. All right, so before I get started here, if you don't know where to pick one of these up, you can Google search these. I think these go for about $100 for each one of these, which is kind of ridiculous for just a piece of metal and a hole with a spring in it. So I picked this up on eBay. There's a bunch of sellers on eBay selling these things. So I got two of these for $25. He wanted two for $35, but it said, make me an offer. So I said 25 bucks, $10 shipping. So 35 bucks for two of these guys. So much better than paying $100 for just one of these. So I got two of them just to try out to make sure that I could actually get this working. So fairly inexpensive, I would say. I don't know how these are supposed to attach. I think if these were from a specific chair, that this would probably screw into whatever's in this portion of the chair just to secure it to the bottom. But I know that if I reach underneath here, that this is all hollow. I'm just gonna try to drill a hole, drop it in there, and if it needs any kind of tension to keep it locked into place, then I'll figure out something for that. Otherwise, I'm hoping that this will just stay in there nice and tight. But this actually unscrews like that, and that's where the little spring mechanism is. And this little hole here, this is a 1/2 inch. So if you wanted to get like a 1/2 inch bolt or a 1/2 inch little pin, Clevis pin, that 1/2 inch will fit right into that little hole there. But let's go ahead, let's get this started. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous doing this because I would hate to screw up and ruin the chair. All right, so I'm taking the top and I'm going to find the center. I'm just gonna mark right in the center here. All right, so here's the center, and luckily this put a little indentation so I know exactly where not to cut around. And I'm just going to cut an X. So I'm just going to cut an X and keep it within the little outline here of where that was. And there does seem to be some padding underneath. So there we go. The surgery is done. So I'm just going to peel this back. So what I'm going to do next, let me just put this right on top one more time just to find the center. I'm going to take my little drill bit here. I'm going to drill a little pilot hole right in the center. Then I'm going to take my 1-inch hole saw. So this is a little 1-incher. This whole diameter of this thing is 1 inch. So I'm hoping that this will fit really snug. So if you're going to attempt this, I would peel back the cloth as much as possible without tearing it. Drop your hole saw in there, making sure that the fabric doesn't get caught in the saw because you don't want it to tear. You don't want it to tear it apart. All right, here we go. Here goes nothing. Okay. All right, that was success. I'm not gonna lie, that gave me a little bit of stress, but I think it worked out pretty well. Fingers crossed that this drops right in the hole. I have to peel back some of this cloth. And by the way, these are row 1 chairs. So you can pick these up on, I got these from Audio Device. So if you're familiar with the Barcelonas from Valencia, these are pretty much the same, almost the same thing. And that is real tight. Okay. Man, that's not going anywhere. Okay, here's the moment of truth. So this is my old tray table that I had when I first started the channel, and I haven't used this ever since. So it's been just sitting in some boxes. And here we go. And that fits almost perfectly. I think the pin is it's a little smaller than I would have liked because there's definitely some wiggle. But it does fit in the hole, and it does swivel. It's just not super straight. So I'm probably gonna have to either buy some new tray tables or make my own, which I kind of planned for. So I did pick this up here. This is what they call a Clevis pin. So you can pick these up at Lowe's for $3. This is a 1/2 inch by 3 inch. So diameter is 1/2 inch, length is 3 inch. And when you put that in the hole, that's about as perfect as it gets. So the tray table, this little pin on this tray table, I think is probably like a 7/8. So this one is a little bit bigger. So it goes 7/8 and then I think 1/2 inch. So this is the next size up. So unless I can retrofit this pin in this tray, I'm gonna have to get some wood and kind of DIY my own tray. Or I can just buy some Valencia trays or something like that. And the cool thing is, since it does lay really flush, that I can still slide the armrest right over it and I can hide it. And plus, you know, this, I'm just noticing this also now matches the little accessory port in the back. So that accessory port is for a little light, a reading light. So that actually matches pretty good. It's really symmetrical now. So I would say that's another successful DIY project, DIY upgrade project for the home theater. The question is for you guys, have you ever done anything like this to your home theater chairs before, home theater seats before? If so, leave a comment down below and let me know what you did. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Be on the lookout for my Bravia 9 Mark II review, and I'll catch you in the next video.